So we here right now for MMA Socialists. We got Colton, and then we got MMA Boxing Analysis. And we're talking about the Rampage fight with Matt Hamill. And I'm going to start with you, Colton. What's your take on this matchup?
Well, my take on Rampage is I like this fight because I think it will take him back to his wrestling roots. And I think that Matt Hamill will take him back to that. And, because in his last fight with Rashad and Machida, those are two movers that, obviously use a lot of foot speed and obviously make them chase him. But he's just been relying a lot on his striking and his boxing and stuff. And the King of Slam's been missing in action for quite a while. So I expect him to return in this fight, and I expect them to pull it out by decision.
Oh, okay. So, I thought he lost to Machida. Actually, when I watched that fight, I was like, I think he lost to Machida. And I just don't see the fire in him at all. What do you think, MMA Analysis, about the... First of all, what do you think about the matchup? Go ahead.
Well, it's two different guys, two different styles. One's just a complete boxer, brawler. The other one's a wrestler who can, take it to the ground and win by, TKO with ground and pound, which gives him the name, the Hammer. But I'm still going with Rampage due to his takedown defense. In the Rashad fight, it was over 400. It was like 450 days of layoff, which it's an obvious showing that he's going to be a little rusty. The ring rust is like, normal ring rust is about 1 year, but that was just over like a year and a half. So the ring rust really got up to him and just messed him up. But, in the Lyoto Machida fight, I thought he lost the fight due to Lyoto's counterpunching and a couple of his takedowns. But, Rampage, he doesn't fight like he does in Pride. He says it many times, he doesn't have the fighting pride in him anymore. But I still go with Rampage Jackson in this fight due to his takedown defense, his amazing takedown defense, which he's stuffed many fighters in his past fights. So, that's my take on it.
Okay. Well, the undercard is pretty much stacked. I think right now, before we get to that, I want to just talk about it for a minute because Matt Hamill happens to be one of my favorite guys. Watching him fight and rooting for him because I thought he beat Bisping, which made me hate Bisping. When that decision was called, I was in outrage because I thought he did enough to win the fight against Bisping. And people don't know, Matt Hamill talks a lot of trash too. For a guy who's deaf, and hearing impaired, he talks trash. He's just like anybody else, man. He's real confident and he comes to fight. So I think he might try to stand and trade with Rampage to kind of throw him off rather than go to a wrestling match first. Probably try to trade, which might make for an exciting fight. But I think Rampage is naturally bigger and stronger than him because I don't think Hamill's a real full at that weight can deal with that kind of intensity because anything with 3 rounds, 4 rounds, his conditioning, he normally slows as the fight goes on. I think Rampage may have better conditioning going into this fight, and the power difference definitely is in Rampage's favor. But I want to talk about this undercard because the fight that I think is the most up for grabs is Big Country over there, Nelson versus Frank Mir. That's the fight. I can't even pick who's going to win that one. I'm leaning towards Big Country, obviously. For me, I just think he's a little bit more rugged. He got a lot more to prove. And Frank Mir really just folds to me when he get in the kitchen. He just folds and just give it all up. If the fight get hot, he just be like, I'm paid. Forget it. I'll just take it. He'll take it. I'm just gonna protect myself. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all pick which one start first. Y'all can just jump in this round table. Go ahead, man.
Okay. I'll go with Frank Mir, but mainly he knows he has great striking. If you watch Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir too, near the end of the fight, he was punching and Brock Lesnar was getting rocked. But he made the one mistake, is throwing that flying knee. If he did not throw that flying knee, he could have won that fight. But, since that loss, I think he's gotten, he's gotten a little more afraid of using his striking abilities, which he knows he has. Right. His striking went down after the Shane Carwin fight. Like, went from Brock Lesnar to Shane Carwin, his striking just deteriorated from, from him being, that underrated striker who has great submissions, great grappling, which Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg say, this guy fights like a heavyweight but moves like a welterweight on the ground. But still, I still go with Frank Mir. But Roy Big Country Nelson, they fought in a grappling tournament, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Roy Nelson won that one.
Yeah.
So, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. That was probably 9-10 years ago. You can't just be saying, no, that happened 9-10 years ago, because those fights, it doesn't matter, I know Dan Henderson fought Ronaldo Sobral back in 99 in the King of Pancrase tournament, and they knew there was too much of a long time ago. They can't use it against each other. So I think this fight's going to be more different than the last one, mainly because they can't use the old footage. They can't use the old tactics. No one knows what Frank Mir and Roy Nelson comes to bring, but we all know what Roy Nelson's going to come with. He's going to come with his his boxing, which he normally likes to use. Like his last fight was Junior Dos Santos, which he got manhandled by that big Brazilian. So I go with Frank Mir, dude, because I know sooner or later he's going to come back with his striking abilities, because he knows he has it.
Oh, okay. So what do you think about it, Colton?
Yeah, I'm taking Mir. I think his striking's a big one. I think he's gonna plaster
Big Country. Oh man. I don't think so, man. I gotta ride with Big Country. Now this guy Strove and Brown, I never really watched them too much fight. I don't really know too much about them. Like Brown, I haven't seen too much about with him. As much, I've seen Strove fight once. So, on that fight, if anybody got any input, please do so. Because the Alves and Story fight is the only other fight that I know of that I'm anxious to see on that card. And the rest of them, I don't know if they're going to be on Facebook. I know that. They have, Facebook's going to be sponsoring a couple of fights live that you can watch.
They're sponsoring the whole preliminary card, basically.
Yeah. And then Spike TV's got 2 fights they're going to put on. Torres Johnson, and then they got the Grove fight with Boucher, which is another fight I would like to see too. But they saved that just for the Spike TV. But Escovedo and Barrero, those guys are going to fight on Facebook. Then McDonald, he's going to fight on Facebook. So that's going to be an interesting fight. The McDonald fight, please watch that. That's going to be exciting. He's a power puncher and a high flyer going against Serraro, or whatever his name is, but he's made to order to make McDonald look like a star, and he's going to look like a star. And Escovedo is going to put this guy in so many moves that Barraro, so that's going to be a showcase fight for him too. So if you're on Facebook, you're going to be in for a treat. And that's really what we wanted to cover on this one. Any take or anything about Brock Lesnar pulling out the fight? I just wanted to cover that right quick. I just really think Lesnar is overrated. One, let's state that.
Very
overrated.
Shitty cardio.
Exactly. And I think, two, we need some clarification on this type of injury that he got. I mean, what is this? Is it a disease or what is it? It just comes and goes every time he gets a fight, and he gets close to a fight, it just appears again. It's like, what is he doing? What are they doing to prevent it? This guy, I don't know what it is. He's the highest paid fighter in UFC. He gets $5 million a year in earnings. He's the highest paid in the UFC.
Shaking my head to that. He does not deserve $5 million.
I know, and I mean, this is a sport where some guys may get 100,000. Anderson Silva, the most he's gotten in a fight was 500,000. That's
well,
it.
The main thing is it's due to the knowability. It's due to how well known they are. So basically, a guy like, Frankie Edgar, when he first started, he was making about $6,000 a fight. But now if you look at him, he's making, $250,000. It's just the way you go. That's why those guys are getting paid high much. Brock Lesnar was getting paid so much because, from WWE, because how well known he was. James Toney, when he fought Randy Couture made $250,000, and guess what James Toney made? $500,000. Due to his well-known being, okay? You gotta be well-known to make a lot of money. That's why Brock Lesnar gets a lot of money, which I don't think he deserves to have much money, because, I think he's a big disgrace to MMA. I know it's big words, I know. Big words I'm saying right now, but, he ruined all of just 2008 to 9 in the heavyweight division due to him. Because I did not like watching him.
The guy is like the worst striker in the history of sports. Can somebody teach him how to throw a punch? I know he's used to pulling punches in wrestling, but somebody got to tell him this is in WWE. You can follow through with the punch.
Yeah. No, he doesn't know how to train right. All he does, if you watch every training promo of his, it's just him lifting a weight, throwing something over his back, and just him pulling up on something. That's all he does. He doesn't do any boxing.
Training partners. Who's throwing punches at you?
He's your kickboxing coach.
Right, where's your coach? You over there working by yourself all the time like he was doing in WWE?
Yeah, Garcia, you should challenge him to a boxing match. For sure.
I might win, because I'll punch him for real one time and he gonna drop.
You can outbox that guy. He can't wrestle you. All he can do is just push you into the corner, but you can get off the ropes and just counterpunch the hell out of that guy.
He's gonna come in and bull charge me. That's gonna be his whole move is bull charge. And I'm a matador.
Bull charge you like he did to Heath Aaron, just like rise Heath Aaron down. He just like boom.
Cain Velasquez treated him like a bitch. He really did. Cain Velasquez treated him like a bitch.
He treated him like Heath Aaron was his hoe and she was trying to leave him. You see, like he's running, he dives right at him and he flips right over him. Oh, that's how bad he is at fighting.
That's horrible. I think we're getting a little off topic. But yeah, this video gets too long. I forgot it's still recording. Alright, this MMA Socialist, the round table, we just shooting the breeze, talking about UFC 130. And talking about Brock Lesnar. Should he even have a career? Who wants to see him? I mean, he wasn't going to beat Dos Santos. I was going to make a lot of money off that fight. And I think they knew he wasn't going to beat Dos Santos. So they pulled out. So now Cain Velasquez is going to end up fighting Dos Santos.
No, wait. He's fighting either Carwin or Dos Santos.
Oh,
it's either those two.
Okay, so this
Carwin, I think, if it's a boxing match, Carwin's got this.
Yeah, Carwin's going to fight Dos Santos first. Then it's going to be Cain Velasquez and
versus one of those two.
Right. Because he was supposed to fight the winner anyway. And he was waiting on the winner. Because I already got that from his email. But, alright, let's end this video.